everything litty, I love when it's hot. Turned to the city, I broke all the knots. Got some more millies, I keep.
What is going on, you beautiful bastards? It's your boy Said React. We're back with another reaction. Today we got the Unhinged bank heist of DBtuber from Mystery Files. Now, if you guys don't know, now you know. This is Shane and Ryan. This is the best, whether it be supernatural stuff on YouTube or whether it be true crime, they're number one, bro. No one matches their energy. All right, they bounce off each other so well. I love these two guys. So they came out with their own channel after leaving BuzzFeed, and now they're coming back with I guess their true crime sort of uploads, where they started the Mystery Files series. This is episode 1 of it, the Unhinged bank heist of DBtuber. Obviously, play on word with DB Cooper. I have no idea what this is all about. Although I've heard that they're gonna be the true crime for Mystery Files is going to be less, you know, violent and graphic than Unsolved was. That's what I heard through the grapevines. But yeah, I'm hyped for this one. I was waiting to watch this one. I really wanted to watch it yesterday, but I thought I'd react to it. I don't know how it's going to go with copyrights, knowing, you know, Shane and Ryan, they're on the ball when it comes to copyright. So we'll see what happens with that. But I mean, if I have to upload this demonetized, I'll upload this demonetized. I don't care. I just like their content, and I wanted to react to it. All right. If it prevents me from uploading it, then you guys are not seeing this right now. If you guys are new to the channel or you keep going back, make sure you hit that sub button. We're really close to 5K, so I appreciate each and every one of you who hit the button. It's as easy as hitting the button, bro. It's just one button. Just hit it. Anyway, I hope you guys are ready. I'm ready. Let's get it. Let's go. Ooh, I'm hyped for this. I'm so hyped for this. It's gonna be good, bro. Yeah, trigger warning for a lot of shit.
Whoa, is this person somehow cooler than DB Cooper?
When I think of a heist, the last word that comes to mind is lazy. You don't encourage someone to rob a bank.
Rob a bank.
The last word that comes to mind is.
If that's one of the evidence, that's a tube. So DBtuber, I'm assuming. How do you rob a bank and then skedaddle out on a tube?
Lazy. You don't encourage someone to rob a bank.
Rob a bank.
Bro.
Welcome to the series premiere of Mystery Files, where we take a deep dive into cases that span from the creepy to the truly bizarre and everything in between. I'm Ryan, and today I'll be forcing my colleague Shane to hear all about the unhinged case of DBtuber. And in the end, you'll have to decide if the mystery is solved or if it's simply a mystery.
Yeah, it doesn't sound as catchy as Unsolved as tagline, but maybe it'll grow on me. Maybe it'll grow on me. I mean, they can't use the same one, right? It's not even the same company, so the dope intro.
Do you know who DBtuber is?
What's a tuber? Is a tuber a potato?
No, actually, but I'm gonna let you figure that out on your own.
A tuber.
Look, you're in the mystery zone.
Yeah, I guess I already got some
I'm not
questions.
gonna just give you layups. Yeah, write that down. Who's DBtuber? What's a tube?
What's a tube?
Off to a good start.
Yeah.
Shall we get into this? Tucked away in the casket.
So, okay, one last pause before all of this starts. I'm assuming from the format that since this is Ryan's show, he knows everything about the case. I'm assuming Shane doesn't know anything about this. And I'm assuming Ryan's going to ask Shane to solve this.
Acadia foothills, 30 miles northeast of Seattle, sits the town of Monroe, Washington. With a population of only 16,000, it's a place where people believe in helping their neighbors, but also minding their own damn business. However, on the morning of September 30th, 2008, all of that would change. At 11 a.m., landscapers began to gather at a local strip mall. Each were dressed exactly the same. Work boots, a blue hat, a long-sleeved blue shirt, a fluorescent safety vest, and a protective particle mask. In other words, you couldn't see who they were.
Is this a flash mob?
No.
Well,
now to demonstrate how well this would actually conceal the identity of the wearer, we're actually gonna have somebody come in right now.
And I can guess their identity.
Mystery man, can you please enter?
That's Carter. That's your cousin Carter.
Well, you wouldn't know that's Carter if you didn't know Carter personally.
Toe to tip, that's Carter.
But if you didn't know Carter and you didn't know Carter was going to be in this vicinity, you would not have guessed that's Carter.
I guess if I saw him on the street, I might not say that. No, I'd say that's Carter.
Imagine you're like turning on like a lawnmower.
Yeah. Thank you, Carter. That's good.
One landscaper was already hard at work using a pump sprayer on the grass. At 11:05, a Brinks truck arrived on schedule to the Bank of America at the strip mall. Security guard Gerardo Willie Valdez stepped out of his truck to gather 2 bags of cash and a hand truck with 4 boxes of coins.
Okay.
After shutting the doors to the truck, Valdez began wheeling his delivery towards the bank. Suddenly, the lone working landscaper dropped their pump sprayer and began sprinting towards him. When the landscaper reached Valdez, they produced a can.
Of whoop ass?
It wasn't a can of whoop ass, but I'll tell you what it was a can of. Before Valdez had time to react, his face was sprayed with mace that would make light work out of a 1,000-pound bear. This guy
Oh, bear spray, bro. Oh my God, that's gotta be rough.
took a bear mace to the face.
And that's not Carter, right? That's
Yeah,
not.
that-
As far as I know, that's not Carter.
Oh, that's
Also
gotta
of note,
hurt.
this was in 2008. Carter would be 8 years old. And I recall Carter not having that kind of stature at that age. Us Bergaras, we grow late in life. With Valdez incapacitated, the landscaper scooped up the canvas bags of cash and fled across the street towards Eagle Park. The entire crime took about 30 seconds. Across the
Wow.
street, local realtor Mitch Ruth was on the phone with a client as he watched it transpire. When he saw the robber charge the Brinks truck security guard, Ruth told his client, quote, "There's a bank robbery. Gotta go." End quote.
Fire.
There's
That's
bank robbery.
fire.
Gotta go.
If you saw a bank robbery, would you try and stop it?
No.
And neither would I.
I think people should rob from banks.
What if you saw like someone robbing like an old lady or something?
That I don't agree with.
That-
Would you
yeah.
try and stop it?
No.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yes.
Yes, if they don't have a gun out or something, yeah, I would probably step up.
Old lady, yes.
You would try and stop
I
it.
would try to stop someone robbing an old lady. Proceed.
I was just trying to prove that you're a coward, but I didn't.
No, I would stop an old lady from, you know, that.
You
that-
realize
think
I'm
you all
saying
should.
stopping someone from robbing an old lady, not stopping an old lady from
robbing a bank. I
Yeah.
see what you're saying. No,
Okay.
I know what you're
Yeah,
saying.
okay.
No,
Just
if I saw someone, you know, punching an old woman, I'd be like, hey, can't be doing that.
I'd probably
You know?
just jump
And then
them.
you walk away. Remember that.
I did my part.
Calling the police on his phone, Ruth watched the perp Frogger across traffic and gave chase.
Frogger.
While in retreat, the robber stripped off their hat, long brown wig, white particle mask, and shorts. Once the robber reached Eagle Park, Mitch lost them. The last thing Ruth saw was the robber running into the woods with nearly $400,000 under their arm. I was
my
wondering this
God.
as I was like putting this together. How easy would it be to have like literally $400,000 under your arms like this?
I mean, it depends what kind of notes
assuming you
we're
don't-
working with. I would hazard a guess, and I may be way off here, of like 60 to 80 pounds.
And how much do you think that would hinder your movement? I mean, obviously,
Not
this
much.
is
I'm a big, strong guy. I got
Well, I was
big
going to
legs.
say this is obviously more of a question for like someone who's an athlete, so this may not apply to
Yeah.
you. But I'm thinking that if I'm running like this,
Yeah.
like when I want to run dynamic,
Yeah, but why would you run with your arms to both sides of you? Like, I'm assuming when they unload money from trucks and bring it to banks, it's like in containers or bags or something. So there's got to be handles to facilitate the, you know, the transporting of the money from the truck to the bank, or from the bank to the truck, and then to the truck, from the truck to the bank, right? So there, I'm assuming it's not just like, whoa, awkwardly holding $400,000. I'm assuming there's handles, and it makes the job a lot easier.
I need my arms to move like this to help the feet move.
Yeah,
But if
and I bound more like the BFG, so
Yeah.
it's because I don't even know that it's necessarily a lot of arm strength in that situation.
Yeah.
Because you could even, you know,
But why?
that, and then you use
why
your
would you-
shoulders, and then it's just more about the legs.
But then you're very top heavy.
Yeah, but I'm used to that, aren't I?
But you're adding more heaviness to the top. I predict.
I know what you're trying to argue here is that you would succeed at this and I wouldn't, but I think you're mistaken. I think you would start crying.
I don't know about that.
Just yesterday,
I think they're both wrong. I think, first of all, I think I don't care. Second of all, I think there's handles to carry the money, which makes it a lot easier
I was sitting on the ground and you were like,
than whatever they're describing.
well, I can't believe you can sit like that. My legs hurt when I do that.
Okay, being flexible has nothing to do about how fast you
And what
can-
happened? You said, well, I ran this morning. I said, yeah, I did too.
Within minutes, the police arrived to the chaos at the Bank of America. They were greeted by one of the landscapers shouting, "We just got scammed!" The police learned that each landscaper had replied to the same Craigslist ad listed from the Clean Monroe Beautification Project, a
30 bucks an
relatively
hour, bro.
lucrative 9-day landscaping job paying $28.50 an hour. The ad
Not
told
bad.
all applicants to gather at this specific lot on a small patch of blacktop between Jack in the Box and the Bank of America. The ad specified all workers must purchase safety glasses or equivalent eye protection, ventilator mask, yellow safety vest, long sleeves, and no shorts, along with proper foot protection.
Pretty good gig, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, that's the point.
For 2008,
You got to remember, this is in the time of the Great Recession.
kind of shitty. You got to buy your own little masks and stuff, but probably fun to buy.
$28.50 an hour at that time.
That's
Cool
a lot
little
of money.
costume.
Now that we're in your mind, you see this ad, you're struggling, you're a landscaper, you get there thinking I'm about to have a nice payday, you see a bunch of people dressed like you. Who are these guys? What's your thoughts?
Well, I have been a landscaper, and that's the team.
Well, you gotta also remember, this is a Bank of America they're landscaping. Not a lot of greenery at a Bank of America.
I will say that is a pretty big team for what is probably a pretty small lot.
But is it enough for you to be like, what's going on here?
12 is overkill.
I don't know. It always depends. Like, it's hard to know looking at the map, but you know the surroundings of a bank is going to be super top-notch clean. So I don't think I would have been suspicious from the get-go.
And this
I don't
was
know.
the sentiment of the folks there and also of the lead detective who showed up and
It is a
realized
lot.
all these people responded to the same ad. Let's get into why that happened. Lead detective Tim Bazell followed the gravel trail the perpetrator had fled down. Along the way, they collected the items left behind. The path came to a dead end at the edge of Woods Creek, a stream less than 2 feet deep. After finding nothing for an hour, despite the use of a helicopter and a canine unit, a patrol officer finally found a yellow and black inner tube 200 yards downstream, hidden under the underbrush.
Whoa, is this person somehow cooler than DB Cooper? Because my man Coop, cool guy,
Cool guy.
right?
Hard to beat.
Sunglasses, suit, ordering bourbon.
Yeah,
Bourbon
but
is amazing.
this guy seems to value the chillaxitude
That's right.
Right.
of a lazy
Yeah.
river.
He has an aptitude for chillaxitude.
Exactly right, mon frere. And I respect that.
And you know what? Can you think of anything more cool than having a high octane crime and then kicking back on a lazy river after?
Dude, just
I would lose my mind. I would lose my mind. If I had to rob a bank and then sit on a tube going like 3 miles an hour, I would absolutely lose my mind. I would ditch it out and run through the bushes and shit. Like
isn't there
I
2
would,
bags of money, sucking down a little Mai Tai?
When I think of a heist, the last word that comes to mind is lazy. And
Yeah.
this guy's a fucking genius.
I like that.
Also found was a torn off shirt, a radio that was velcroed onto the inner tube, and a steel cable stretched between a tree and a fallen log that the robber used to pull themselves. Pretty cool.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie,
So there wasn't current.
maybe we're not supposed to root for the robber.
He had to pull
but
himself.
Pretty neat.
When it's Bank of America, it's okay.
I'm gonna repeat that information one more time,
Okay?
and I'm gonna give you the opportunity to say something.
Okay.
And if you don't say anything, we'll move on. How about that?
All right.
Because you are writing things down, right? Or are you just drawing circles?
I'm drawing a tube.
You listening?
Yep.
Also found was a torn off shirt, a radio that was velcroed onto the inner tube,
Hang on.
And a steel-
Torn off. Okay?
and a steel cable stretched between a tree and a fallen log that the robber used to pull themselves.
So, okay, if we're looking at this like an investigation, which I have absolutely zero experience in, I'm gonna go on a limb here and say that the steel cable had to be pre-installed, which means there might be camera surveillance footage of him before that heist, going into the woods and then installing that cable, if there is cameras nearby. If not, the radio is sus. That means one of the other persons that were there maybe was working with him. Maybe he wasn't alone. I don't know.
Gotcha. Okay. You're giving me the opportunity to say something that I don't know. Okay,
You're trying to solve a mystery, remember that.
torn off shirt, Velcro radio, steel cable.
I'll give you 5 seconds.
Sounds cool. Is that what you wanted to say? Sounds cool.
Does sound cool.
We love this guy.
All right, let's move on.
What were you gonna say?
I'm not gonna tell you.
I don't understand.
I'll tell you later. The police had collected little evidence by the time the day's search was called off. Surveillance footage didn't give many details about the perpetrator, except that they were white, tall, and young.
Yeah, that's not a lot to go off of.
There was DNA evidence from the particle mask and wig, but it did not match anybody in the system. When reports of the crime came out, a local radio DJ noted the similarities to D.B. Cooper. But instead of jumping from a plane, this perpetrator had used an inner tube. The name D.B. Tuber was born. It's corkboard time. Let's get into the suspects.
It's getting interesting.
Number 1. Alan Dean. One day after the crime, a patrol sergeant remembered a strange visit from a few weeks back. On September 9th, Public Works employee Randy Oshk, I think that's how you say it, Osh.
It looks like an Osh to me.
Randy Osh. He called the police. While he was fixing the sewer near the Bank of America, an unhoused man approached Osh to tell Osh that he had discovered a robbery kit. Bazell and his partner Detective Hatch tracked the man to an encampment along the Snohomish River. The man's name was Alan Dean. When they found him, Dean said, "It's about time you got here."
What is in a robbery kit?
You know, stuff to commit a robbery.
A gun in a bag.
Bag of pantyhose, slime.
What the fuck
This
are you
just
saying?
sounds like Home Alone now.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. Probably like a beanie, some fingerless gloves.
Okay, well
Yeah.
An indestructible skull. That's about it, yeah.
then. Yeah, that's Home Alone. All right.
Originally from the Ozarks, Dean was a 53-year-old felon. Before the recession, he had been making up to $200 a day panhandling. But now he was lucky to make $50, dashing his
rough.
dreams of saving enough money to buy a car so he could drive to Arkansas and reunite with his children.
Oh,
It's very sad, very sad.
maybe he achieved his dream. If he's the guy, right? Wouldn't that be a sweet little happy ending?
Maybe.
Give him some sweet quiche.
I like
hey,
where you-
Daddy's here and he's got hundreds of thousands of dollars for you.
It's funny that you'd speak of Daddy, because I like how Daddy's thinking right now.
Me, Daddy?
When the police asked why Dean was expecting them, he told them that to keep his mind sharp, he read 2 newspapers a day, had seen the DB Tuber story, and had information about it. Weeks earlier, Dean was begging near the Bank of America. Behind a dumpster, he spotted a radio. As he picked it up, he saw a particle mask.
That's the thing that's throwing me off is the radio, because why would you have a radio if you're alone?
A dark wig, sunglasses, and a can of mace. As Dean realized this was for a robbery, he became acutely aware that his fingerprints were on the evidence.
Oh.
Dean rushed to a man working nearby. Osh! He told that man, "You gonna call the law, or am I?" Osh filed the report. Expecting the police to collect what he found, Dean stayed with all of the materials. As he waited, a silver SUV pulled up. Out of the SUV jumped a young man. Dean told them, "Hey dude, I wouldn't mess with that stuff. I called the law and they're coming to pick it up." The man replied, "What'd you do that for?" The man gathered the item
Okay, well, I think we found him. I think that's him.
and drove away.
Whoa, that's the bad guy.
Yeah.
According to Dean, of course. This is,
Oh, I think Dean is
okay.
right.
I mean, yeah, okay.
you can't jump to conclusions like that.
I've jumped.
That's old school, like, kid shit that we did on another show.
Remember that?
They remember it. Using the pen Dean had for his crosswords,
I remember that. You guys might remember if some of you are OGs on this channel, but I tried to react to BuzzFeed Unsolved, Supernatural, and True Crime, and it got taken down. One of them took my stream down as I was live, so I got the mental note that, okay, I can't react to that, so I enjoyed the content on my own, and I binge watched through the entirety of their catalog, and it is great content.
he wrote down the license plate number. The officers ran the plate number, but what came back shocked them. Suspect number 2, Emily Curcio. Doesn't mean anything to you yet.
I was gonna say, I don't recognize the name.
I know.
Seems like a lovely lady as far as I can tell. Look
Well,
at that
I'll tell you about
stunning
her.
silhouette.
The vehicle was registered to a woman named Emily Curcio. Well known in the community, Emily had grown up in Monroe. In high school, she was the captain of the cheerleading squad. After graduation, Emily went to Washington State University, where she was an honors student and received her BA in communications. After college, Emily married her longtime boyfriend, Anthony Curcio. Everybody who lived in Monroe knew the Curcio.
Yeah, that looks like a the I can't say that word. Stereotypical relationship of like the quarterback and the cheerleader. I mean, that's how we see Americans. All right, anywhere in the world, if you tell me quarterback and cheerleader dating, that's America. So yes.
In 2004, let's take this one off too, the Curcios bought lakefront property and moved into a 4,000 square foot home. Her coworkers said that Emily was smart, quick learning, and was never afraid to take on the next challenge. She was extremely organized, proactive, and diligent. Her level of detail, organization, and ability to multitask were beneficial to the team. In 2005, she began working in real estate. But when the market crashed in 2007, so did her lifestyle. Their home was close to being foreclosed.
Okay, yep, yeah.
Okay.
And 2 of their cars were repossessed. But the little evidence the police had all pointed to a man as the perpetrator. Her husband.
There it is.
Anthony Curcio. Anthony's father had been a star wide receiver at the University of Idaho, who opened a landscaping company in town after a career-ending injury. As you can see there, that's doing some landscaping. And there's also Anthony playing football.
Cocaine?
There is
you weren't supposed
cocaine,
to see
yeah,
that.
cocaine
Just
and pills.
Ignore that. Ignore
Okay.
that for now. The Curcios were royalty. What do you think about that? Just like the idea of like having an illustrious high school career.
Yeah, I mean, I had a crown in high school, so I get it, you know.
You did. You were Mr. Saxton.
That's right. Saxon.
Like,
I was king.
like later hosen.
King.
You
Oh
were prom king
shit.
too?
No, my best friend was prom king.
Were you homecoming king? There was some other king in there, right?
I had a crown, I had a sash, you know.
Didn't you also go to prom alone?
Yeah.
Anthony was the apparent prince, an all-star wide receiver and homecoming king, like father, like mother, like son. His dedication earned him a Division I scholarship to play football at the University of Idaho, though he eventually transferred to Washington State University to be with Emily. In 2004, he got his realtor's license and began flipping houses. You like that? The houses flipped upside down?
That's
I
good.
like that a lot.
That's good.
Pretty good. On his first home, he made $250,000. On his second, $160,000.
That's good profit.
But success was short-lived, as a house he bought took nearly $100,000 more to repair than he had estimated.
That's rough.
Then, in 2007, the housing market crashed.
Yeah, that's
Anthony
rough.
owed $17,000 a month in mortgage payments and had turned to painkillers and cocaine to cope.
How can you fucking even afford those two things, bro?
There's the cocaine. When one of the officers that had gone to high school with Emily and Anthony saw a security camera picture.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't see a woman. You know, if the figure that's circled is supposed to be the suspect, I don't see a woman in that. I don't think. I don't know.
The officer pointed out that the perpetrator was crouched in a runner's stance. He said, "Anthony's an athlete. There's a strong possibility that's him."
Is that Carter?
Yeah, that is Carter. We didn't have Anthony actually in a runner's stance, so I contacted the nearest athlete I could.
It's always
which, of
nice to
course,
see
is my,
Carter. Always
is my
nice to see
cousin
Carter. Yeah.
Detective Bazell uncovered
So he was a wide receiver. They said, I think. If that's the case, and a good one at that, then men can run. Men can run fast.
that during college, Anthony had been running scams. Curcio would dress up as a mover to steal furniture. Alarm bells started to go off as Bazell thought about the landscaping costume, and yet they had no evidence. The police weighed what they had. Were they to believe an unhoused man living along the river with fingerprints on evidence? or that one or two beloved members of their community were responsible for this crime.
Well, I guess you'd have to check the bank accounts, right?
Well, obviously, if you steal from a bank,
don't-
you're gonna probably wash it or not even put
Yeah.
it into the system.
Right.
Wash it.
Launder it.
Whoa.
That's just what we say in the
Cool
biz.
how you said that.
Yeah, no, it's you, when you do it a while, you just kind of, like the lingo kind of just becomes you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, look at me right now. Look how relaxed I am. Kind of
That's
have.
the,
Yeah,
the stance of a money
super
launderer.
relaxed.
Have you
I
been
kinda
embezzling from Watch
No,
Entertainment?
but I've been bringing these people down for a while, and you kind of just, you develop kind of an air about you.
I see.
afterwards.
Uh-huh.
You're
Okay.
just ready.
So
Yeah, that's what
I'm
it is.
supposed to guess if it's solved.
Is this
or-
mystery? Jesus, don't you fucking say it. Hey,
Or unsolved.
hey.
What?
You look at me.
I'm looking.
And you look at me too.
All right.
My bad.
It's on you now.
My bad.
Is this mystery solved,
Yeah.
or is it a mystery?
I'm gonna hope that it's solved, and I personally think it's one of the Curcios.
Well, throw
Okay. So they have the car that matches to Curcio, the family at least. So they have the car. They have, reasonable amount of suspicion that the guy was athletic, which he is. They have the CB, which to me the radio makes it, it's two people. All right. So they have the radio, and there's two of the Curcios. Already, I'm looking at this. They have the point that he used to rob people anyway. They have his financial records going down. I'm thinking this is solved.
drum roll, please.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna say it's solved.
Whoa, that's
I
good.
think
That's
it's
from
the
the
two.
people upstairs. It's just my wife. This mystery is solved.
Hey, apple pie.
But you're not done yet.
Oh, okay. Oh, I have to guess who?
Who was it?
Tony.
We'll find out.
Yeah, I think it's Tony. Tony and Emily. I think her name
So
was.
the police suspected Anthony Curcio was their guy, but they needed Anthony's DNA to try and match the DNA from the mask and wig. While the FBI trailed Anthony, they hit the jackpot when Anthony Curcio threw away a Gatorade bottle full of chewing tobacco spittle. But as they awaited the
Yeah.
results, Anthony went missing. Soon they got information that Curcio was in Las Vegas.
Okay, well, I mean,
After 3 weeks, Detective Bazell got a call from the lab. They had the DNA results. It's a match. Anthony Curcio's DNA is on the items, meaning you were correct. Anthony Curcio is DB Tuber.
DB
I mean,
Tuber.
I guess I'm pretty smart.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Very clammy hands.
Yours are way clammier than mine.
Actually, they were
These are
pretty-
dry as a bone.
Maybe it was me.
Yeah.
On November 3rd, 2008, Anthony had arranged to hand off $17,000 to a friend in a Target parking lot. As Curcio stepped out of a Range Rover, the police swarmed with AR-15s. They shouted, "Get down! Get down!" Anthony shouted back, "This is slander! Do you know who my parents are?"
He's a Nepo baby.
Now,
Come on, man. I had respect for DB Tuber, but he screams about, do you know who my parents are? I mean, who gives a fuck, bro? I don't care who your parents are, alright? No one cares. I don't care if your dad is... I don't care if you have two dads and they're Elon Musk and Bill Gates. I do not give a fuck who your parents are, bro. Be your own person.
I'm gonna pause this right now. Remember earlier when I tested you and I said, "Okay, could you write something down if these things jump out to you?" I'm gonna repeat that information one more time,
Okay.
and I'm gonna give you the opportunity to say something. You wanna read the things you wrote?
Torn off shirt, Velcro radio.
Now, if you were an astute investigator, Velcroed radio would tell you something.
There's two people.
He wasn't working alone.
Right.
Because who are you radioing
Right.
if there's no one but you?
Exactly.
Person.
You missed it. Further investigation would show that Anthony had two accomplices, a getaway driver and a warehouse owner who stored the money. But after only a couple weeks, $220,000 was all that was left of the $400,000.
Nice.
Due to a deal cut with police, only Anthony Curcio was charged with robbery and witness tampering, serving 6 years in prison at the age of 28.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not that long of a sentence. Yeah, I think it's fair.
Anthony's wife, Emily, shockingly had no idea of the crime.
The thing is, it's hard for me to feel sorry for a bank, bro. Like, it literally is. It's just on some Robin Hood shit. I don't give a fuck about... Like, Crimea River, a bank lost 400K. I don't give a fuck.
I mean, that's not a shock to me.
Well, I mean, they live under the same household. I tell my wife everything. I imagine you...
It's not a shock.
Shocking age of 28. Anthony's wife, Emily, shockingly had no idea of the crime.
Oh, wow.
I mean,
Okay,
that's
so
not
I
a
was
shock to
wrong
me.
then.
Well, I mean, they live under the same household. I tell my wife everything. I imagine you tell yours as well.
Yeah, but you're also not a robber, a thief,
well, I mean,
a
if they're
no good Nick.
Yeah, but if they're down on their luck, right?
He was probably like, I better do this to save
People
my
lie
life.
all the time, bro.
Just
Like,
find it hard to believe that he could pull it off. Like he's like on Craigslist doing the post, buying the outfit for himself.
Yeah.
Going down there, setting up the wire at the river. What's he saying? Like, I'm going out for a drink with the boys, Monday through Friday.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm sure, yes. It sounds like he's just lying to her a lot.
yeah.
Well, that's a shame.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Emily shockingly had no idea the crime occurred until Anthony's name appeared as lead suspect on television. If you're watching Cheers and all of a sudden we get a breaking news update on TV that Sarah has robbed a bank,
I'd be like, hell yeah. I probably helped her plan it.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Actually, this is a subset question. Who would you be most surprised of between Steven and myself if you found out one of us robbed a bank?
You.
I respect
Yeah.
that.
Do you not feel the same way between me and Steven?
I would be very surprised if you robbed a bank. Steven,
I would be surprised if he hasn't robbed a bank yet.
we're talking about a guy who makes shows based around
This
the
guy's
concept
sick and
of
twisted.
money.
He's got to feed his
Come
hunger.
on, and
the hunger knows no bounds.
his Tesla's not going to charge itself.
It sure isn't.
No,
I
it's
see him
not.
out there walking. He's pacing like a lion in a zoo.
He's probably robbing a bank right now.
Yeah,
I haven't
yeah.
seen him in a while.
The police gave Alan Dean, if you recall the unhoused man, a reward for his help. With it, Dean bought a Nissan
Pathfinder?
Pathfinder.
Hell yeah.
Great car.
Great car.
Dean told them,
It's not
quote,
bad.
I'm going back to see my kids again.
See, now this is what I hoped for. That's lovely.
You got it. You got your happy ending. He wasn't a criminal. He helped solve a case, and now he's got a great reunion with his, little kids.
For the record, I
that.
trusted this man the whole time.
You did, and that's on record.
Yeah.
You don't even have to say for the record.
For the record.
It's on the record.
Print it.
At this point, the statute
Print
of
it.
limitations has run out on the crime. Anthony Curcio
Okay.
is the only one to ever be charged in connection to the heist, despite Detective Tim Bazell's personal appeals to both federal and county prosecutors to press charges on the others involved. In prison, Anthony got sober and started to draw children's books.
Oh!
After being released from prison, he became a best-selling author with books such as,
Holy
oh my
shit.
God, I can't believe he wrote this book. Stephen Curry, The Boy Who Never Gave Up, and My Daddy's in Jail.
On the plus side of the scale, if you're gonna rob a bank, hey, do it. You know, no big deal.
You can't say, you don't encourage someone to rob a bank.
Look, I'm not gonna condone robbing a bank, but I mean, if it's done with no casualties, no one gets hurt. He did bear spray someone, which is fucked. But like, that's hard to excuse. But like, still, it's no lasting physical pain, or no one got shot or stabbed, or. Well, it's bank, dude. It's the bank's money. I don't give a fuck about the bank's money. All right, I don't care. I don't care. If you don't hurt anyone, fuck it. Rob a bank. That's all I'm saying. I don't care.
Rob a bank.
I love you, Shane.
Today, Anthony and Emily Curcio are still together, living in Washington. He gives talks to schools throughout the US on the dangers of drug abuse and how to make positive choices. Remembering the heist years later, Anthony said, quote, "It was the perfect crime. You know the funny thing? I grew up in Monroe and never once saw a homeless guy. Maybe he was some kind of angel," end quote. If Anthony's crime had been a little more perfect, this may have truly been a D.B. Cooper sequel. But in making crucial mistakes, he gave himself away, and we can officially call this mystery solved.
I'm happy for these
Look at them.
folks.
Fire.
Look at those two kids.
I'm proud.
They're
Look at-
happy.
Yeah, they got a gazebo back there.
And also,
Fuck
the
yeah.
heist, I hate to say it, fucking ruled. It
Yeah.
was a funny heist.
You know what? I'm glad he's proud of it. Again, rough to pepper spray someone, but he should be proud of it. It was really the perfect crime.
It had the trifecta for me. And I don't even know what, I'm gonna make these 3 points up as I go.
Number one.
Number one, victimless essentially, kind of.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Number two,
Yeah.
funny outfits.
Sure.
Gotta love
True,
funny
yeah,
outfits.
yeah.
And number 3, it involved a lazy river.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, no,
let's be
you're right.
honest, a bit romantic.
It is a bit romantic.
He's doing it for
he
his
was
lovely
doing
wife.
it for his family and his kids because they made a couple bad choices on real estate. Who hasn't done that?
Hey, look, the
Well-
housing collapse, that made people do crazy things, I'm sure. And next time we're up in Washington, maybe they'll invite us over for dinner.
Make it happen. Open invitation from you to us. That's not how those work, but
We invite you to invite us.
exactly.
Or they can come hang out in our basement.
That's true. Not a lot of air in here, and
No.
the big guy farts a lot.
The big guy farts a lot.
Oh, cool. Like do a
Okay, that was actually really, really entertaining. I love that. I'm gonna leave the original in the description. If you guys want to go check it out on your own or show, the boys at Watcher some love, make sure to go do that. As well as check out their channel, man. They have some really, really, really good content on there. I really like these two. Steven is really funny as well. I know Ricky has a show now, Worth a Shot, I think, with, I think it's, I don't remember who, I think it's Mari, I don't remember. Yeah, no, there's good shows on there, bro. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed the reaction, leave a like, leave a comment, let me know what you'd like to see next. If you want more of these guys, if you want more of the mystery files, we could binge watch the upcoming episodes together if you guys are down for that. And yeah, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet. As per usual, it's been your boy Said Reacts. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. I'm out. Peace.